All right, guys, so welcome to video 2. If you did not see video 1, I'll post it below. Please go look at it. It's basically talking about how I am reinventing this particular channel. I started it years ago. I was not consistent with it. And even though I was putting out good videos on things that I was doing, I wasn't getting the traction. But I think the consistency had a big piece to do with it. So I said I was going to redo it, and I was breaking it up into 2 parts. One, I was going to talk about how I got to where I am now, which I was able to leave corporate America in 2024 and start working full-time on all my side hustles. And then what I'm going to be starting new. So with that being said, let's talk about the businesses that I have been running since 2002. The first one is Moncho Publishers, which is my publishing company. My first book that I published was The Black Web Directory. Published this in 2002. I actually worked with a publishing company when I did this particular one. I laid out everything myself. I gave the different graphics, but I did work with a publishing company. Since then, if you looked at my last video, I talked about having 50 plus books. I actually have 73 total books, and the majority of them I publish myself with my publishing company, my brand, Moncho Publishers, and I did it on Amazon KDP. It wasn't hard to actually do. Once you actually create a format for the size book that you want, it's going to be the same every time. The only difference is whether you have pictures in it that bleed or things that don't bleed, whether you want a matte cover or a glossy cover. But the knowledge of what you're putting in the book, that's one thing. How you're laying out the book, that's another thing. But it's consistency with that. So I have a total of 73 books. I showed you the first one, but I also have like a prayer book. I have like a quote book. I have books for children, which is my mystery series. I'm actually going to put some more out on that. I have a Stepping Into My Purpose. It's a gratitude journal. And then the last 2 books that I did, this was the very last one. It's a Freshman Year Unlocked. It's basically a book that helps new freshmen on campus how to get acclimated, which I wish I had something like this when I first went to North Carolina A&T State University. But this is my freshman book. And then I have a book on wealth. Most of my books were log books and journals, so it didn't take a whole lot of content for those, really just outlines of different things. But then I have about 10 books that they're real, novel type books. So whether it's a children's book or whether it's a nonfiction type book that's helping you learn something. But that's all around my publishing company, and it's still going great. The thing about a publishing company and producing books is that's true passive income. You do it once, you don't have to do it again. The only time you'll have to do a different book is, let's say for this book right here, if there are certain things in here like formulas that may have been updated, or I'm talking about certain things that are not happening right now, it might get kind of dated from that perspective. That's why when you're producing books, you want to try to do a evergreen type of book, which means that you don't have to go back to it. So that's one thing. The other thing that I have that is still going good is I created a product back in 2004. It is a office type, product. I don't want to say exactly what the product is because you and I both know everybody is not happy for you, so I don't want people to try and sabotage a particular product or something that I got because I may be doing well. My goal is to try and help you, and I'll do that in any way I can with these videos. So, product I created, they say that necessity is the mother of invention, and that's how I came up with my product. It was something that I needed. I had some paddles that I was making for a line that was going over. I'm a member of the Divine Nine, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And I was making some paddles, and something that I needed, I could not find for it. And I'm like, I know other people need this product. You know, why isn't it out there? I'm in Michael's, Hobby Lobby, all of these places, couldn't find it. So I ended up deciding to create it myself after I did a bunch of research. Now, this was back in 2004. And so when I created my product, I had to do looking in Thomas Registry. You know, we didn't have all of these things that's at your fingertips now to be able to look on the internet and surf for manufacturers, distributors, and all that stuff. You had to find a book, you know, to try and find some of this. Yes, you could look on the computers, but it wasn't as readily available as it is now. So found everything. Found me a manufacturer, a die cutter, found someone for the packaging. I designed everything. I created dies. My product is actually die stamped out, you know, so when I need new ones to replenish on Amazon, if I've ran out of inventory, I have to go back to a manufacturer to stamp out more things for me. That's how I went all the way with that particular product. And I know that there may be someone out there who may want to create a product themselves. I can help. You know, it's a lot easier now than it was back then if you have ideas for stuff. You just have to make sure that nobody's taking advantage of you. So those are the two main things that I have that have been going from 2002 and 2004. What am I starting now? Two things. So the first thing is I'm starting a craft store with my mother. We're calling it Mary and Michelle. We have not put a bunch of stuff up on it yet. Once I do, I'll put the link below, but it's starting fresh. My mom, very creative. I'm not the creative one, I don't think. I'm good with business related things. I can help you from the perspective of giving you the right directions, the thing to go, right direction and things to do and where to go. I am not the person that can sit down and just create something by hand, you know, like a flower arrangement or something. My mom, she makes diva heads, she makes wreaths, she does blankets, she does pillows, she does all types of things. And I want to help her start selling more of these. Right now, she's selling them local. I want to put them on Etsy, and I'll start showing you guys some of them as we get deeper into it. I'll put the link down where you can see it. So that's going to be starting fresh. And then my coaching program, which is Start Now Coach. I know I have done so many good things that I know I can help other people. I was a very big mentor when I was in corporate America, always coaching some of the younger people that were coming up out of college. I always wanted to put them in the best position they could be in. And I want to carry that over because things that I've done that I think was easy, you know, hindsight is 2020. You look back, it's like, well, it really wasn't that hard. I know I can teach someone else. I'm sure there's someone watching this that's saying, I want to get my book out there. I can help you with that. It is not hard to actually get a book on KDP, get it approved, set it up. I can help you with those different dynamics. The other thing is with like my product. I know someone may want to do a product. I can help you with that. I'm very good at guiding people once I understand what their baseline is, where they're at, and then where they're trying to be. I'm an executor. I'm able to execute. That was one of my superpowers when I was in corporate America. I can execute. I can improve processes. I can improve situations. So I want to be able to do that for you. Now, what's the difference in my products that have been going for years versus the new businesses that I'm starting up? Well, that's easy. The money. The money's already there for the other products, and they've been there since 2004, 2002, you know, for those things. These new products, money hasn't started to come in for those yet. And one thing that I didn't mention was for the craft store that my mom and I are going to have, she has the craft side of it. What I'm going to put in it is digital products as well as 3D products. I have a 3D printer that my son and I love to use. He loves making little things like this, you know, little animals and all that type stuff, even to, you know, bigger things. He makes all those types of things. I've been learning, and one of the first things I ended up making was a light box. And I don't know if you can see that really well, but this was a light box that I created. And I got to put the lights in better. But this is basically what it is. It is a North Carolina A&T light box. It was simple, you know, to actually make. I did one for my sorority. Same type of deal. Let me light it up for you. This is the one for my sorority. And I know it's kind of bright and the lights are on here, but that's what it is. I can take any design and I can actually make a light box out of it. So whether it's your name, your business name, those are the types of things I want to make. An example of something else, and there's tons of things. This was something that I am making for Mother's Day, and it's just a little stand that says Happy Mother's Day, got roses on it. You sit it on the counter. So there's a lot of things that I'm going to be inputting with digital products as well as 3D product. But like I said, the difference between those is I got to start getting the money in. So where I am right now is creating the Etsy shop, creating, you know, like a stand store, trying to figure out the best way to set everything up, getting everything started. That's where I am now. So I'm going to be presenting you guys with that stuff so you can see it start from the beginning and then where we're going to be at, you know, by the end of the year. So hopefully this is something that interests you. Hopefully there is some information I can provide you that can help you along your journey. If there's any questions that you have, just ask them. I will answer every question, you know, that I can. And then if there's any type of advice that you have for me, give it to me. I'm not an expert on how to do all this. I can just tell you how I was successful and what I did to get to this point. But I'm starting fresh, you know, going the other direction. I'm still going to use the same framework and dynamics that made me successful up to this point to help me be successful on these new products. So I hope you'll join me on this journey. I look forward to seeing the questions that you have, any type of information you have for me. Look out for the next video. I'll post something next week.